An unusual love story laced with lust and greed that led to the wiping out of a family, hacking seven to death, including a 10-month-old child. We are talking about a recent case about Shabnam, an unusual love story of a school teacher, a double MA, and a school dropout who had failed to pass even class 6th. These murders that I'm talking about tonight had been committed on the intervening night of April 14 to 15 in the year 2008 in a small village in Amroha district of Uttar Pradesh. Almost 13 years later, Shabnam Ali is likely to become the first Indian woman to be hanged. The preparation for her execution, report says, is underway in the Mathura jail, and she's the only prison, or this is the only prison in the country to have gallows to hang women death row convicts. So, what was the story about? How did it start? And how are we talking about it today? This starts with a petition by a young boy, by a small child, which is Shabnam's son, who has asked the president to forgive his mother. Popularly called as the mercy petition, or we might also call as the pardoning power of the president of India. Shabnam Ali's family was respected in her village, in Bawan Kheri, for being the most educated people. She was not born like that. She was a bright student and completed masters in English literature and geography before taking up a job at the village primary school. Her love interest Salim worked at a wood sawing workshop near her home. He was bad in studies and had dropped out of school in class 6th. Their proximity was an irritant for Shabnam's family. They objected to her relationship. She was from a well to do family and Salim had no financial stability. Besides, the question of biradari was also there. Shabnam's family was Safi Muslim and Salim was a Pathan. Over these years, what we have tried to read or understand from different articles is that with the strong resistance from the family and lack of financial security preventing them from eloping, Shabnam and Salim plotted the murders. When the murders took place, Shabnam was pregnant with Salim's child at that particular period of time. According to the investigations that took place, the murders came to light in the hours of April 15 night when Shabnam screamed for help from her neighbors. Neighbors saw her standing at her balcony and called her down. The police were informed, bodies were found in different rooms. The entire room was filled with blood and half cut bodies. 6 of the 7 deceased had been drugged, and according to the prosecution, they had been given tranquilizer diazepam laced tea, famously chai. Shabnam held the victims with their hair while Salim cut their throats with an axe, and Shabnam then throttled the youngest victim, Arsh. Both of these people could not be witnessed on the first go because the story was like that. She was safe in her home and she said that she was in the washroom, and that is why people came to rob her home. And at that particular period of time, she was not there, and that is why she was saved. Her life was saved. But the reality was very, very different from what actually happened. This entire murder had been plotted. After the investigation of her phone records of the last conversation she had with Salim, it was clearly meted out that Shabnam and Salim were responsible for this entire murder mystery. In the year 2010, an Amroha Sessions Court sentenced them to death, which was upheld by the Allahabad High Court in 2013, and the Supreme Court in May 2015, within 10 days, stayed the death warrants. In 2015, then Uttar Pradesh Governor Ram Naik rejected Shabnam's plea for mercy, and she had sought on the ground of her responsibilities towards her son, which is Muhammad Taj. This young boy who's filing the petition for her mother's life is Muhammad Taj. In August 2016, then President Pranab Mukherjee rejected her mercy petition, and in January 2020, a Supreme Court bench headed by CJI S.A. Bobde upheld the death sentence. So, what she claimed? She was the one who had raised the alarm about her family's murder. She had initially claimed that unknown assailants had entered her home and killed everyone. However, during the course of their trial, the couple turned against each other. And in 2015, Supreme Court judgment says that in her Section 313 statement, Shabnam said Salim had entered the house with a knife through the roof and killed all her family members while she was asleep. Salim, on the other hand, said he reached the house only on the request of Shabnam, and that when he reached there, she confessed to having killed the others. 7 years after the crime, when her son was being sent to foster care, Shabnam had claimed that she feared for his life, as the people who had killed her family over a property dispute could harm him too. Shabnam's son stayed with her in jail for the first few years of his life. In the year 2015, this young boy had to be sent to foster care, as according to the jail manual, women inmates can't keep children above 6 with them. Taj is now living with journalist Usman Saifi, who was Shabnam's college junior, and his wife Suhina. Saifi has told in his various interviews that Shabnam is the woman on the death row and is not the Shabnam that he knew in the college. She was a very intelligent girl and he wanted to support her, and that is why he had adopted Taj, which is Shabnam's son. So we need to understand that this could be the first hanging of a woman after independence. This could be the first case that we are seeing in India, and there have been multiple other cases also that we have seen over a period of time. If we go and check out 2016 report on the death penalty in India by National Law University, New Delhi, 12 women are on death row in the country and all belong to backward classes and religious minorities. Another case where the convict's mercy petition has been rejected by the president is that of Renuka Shinde and Seema Mohan Gavit, the sisters who convicted of kidnapping and killing several children in Maharashtra town between the years 1990 and 1996. So there have been multiple cases that we have seen around. There are multiple things that are happening in the country, but this is going to be the first case wherein we would see a woman being convicted by death sentence in the independent India. These are the two people we have talked tonight about, that is Shabnam and Salim. And we would definitely look forward to any of the updates that we get, because this is a mercy petition which is being put up by the young boy, and this could be one of the cases. This is also popularly known as the Amroha murder case. It is also popularly known as Shabnam case or the popular murder case. You people can go and search it out. You can find a lot of tweets being done on that. And yet, definitely, this is one of the stories that we are encountering tonight and we are talking about. There are multiple such cases that keep taking place. Let me also tell you that recently a case took place in US as well, wherein in the US the federal court had given the death sentence. You can go and check that as well, because there are multiple cases which are taking place in different countries around the world with respect to death sentences or death penalty which are being given. And there are multiple views of the people, different sections of society on such cases. Let's see which wing are you into. Comment down in the comment section. What do you think? Is this case right enough? Should the pardoning power of the president be used over here to reduce or cut down or simply remove away the death sentence or reduce it down to any lesser punishment? Do you think the president should use these powers? What are your views on it? Let us hear it out in the comment section from all of you. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This video can be highly informative for everybody around. Thank you guys. Take care. All the best.